Welcome back to our Habit Tracker series. In this video, I'm going to explain the HTML part of this project. And as for the prerequisites, I have created a folder and opened it in the Visual Studio Code. And I have created 3 files in it: index.html, style.css, and script.js. So let's start with the code. As for the title of this project, I'm going to name it as Interactive Habit Tracker. In order to link the CSS file, I'm using the link tag. In the body, I'm going to start it with h1 tag to provide the title of the web page. Then I am going to create div. In this project, we require 3 main div. As for the first div, I'm going to provide its class name as habit name container. Inside this div, I'm going to use input tag to get the user input, and in input tag, I'm going to provide its ID as habit name input. And I'm using a placeholder here, and under the messages, enter your habit, and after that I'm going to use the button tag to create a button to set the habit. And as for the button tag, I'm going to use the ID set habit name. So this is about the first tick, and after first div, I'm going to use an h2 tag to provide a subtitle as track your habit. And in this h2 tag, I'm going to provide an ID for this. Later we will use this ID in the JavaScript code. Habit name and in the second div is used to create a grid system. So I'm going to provide a class name as tracker here. Also, I'm going to provide an ID name which will be used later in the JavaScript code, and ID name is also tracker. And as for the last div, I am going to provide its name as progress bar, since this div is used to create the progress bar at the bottom of our web page. And inside this, I'm going to create another div with the class name progress fill. And also I'm going to provide an ID which will be later used in the JavaScript code with the same class name, progress fill. And as for the last part, in order to connect this page with the script page, I am using the script tag. Yeah, that's it. This is all about the HTML page. Let's have a look at the live server. So this is all about our HTML of our page. Then next we can go into our style.css page and start some basic styles. And I'm going to start it with assigning some root variables. And in this, I'm going to create 3 color variables. First one for the primary color, which I am going to set this as a green color. Second, I'm going to create a variable for secondary color. I'm going to set this as a whitish color. And the last one, I'm going to create a variable for a highlight color. And as for the highlight color, I am going to set this as an orange type color. And as the last variable, I am going to create the variable name called spacing, and assign a value 10px to it. So this is all about our root variable. Next, I am going to use the universal selector. So here I'm going to provide the box sizing as border box, and margin is set to 0, and padding is set to 0. So universal selector, which means that it targets all the elements on the page, and this settings is called the RSS normalization. This is to keep the consistency across the browsers. Then next, we are going to do CSS on the body. For that, we are selecting the body tag, and we are going to provide a font family to it. And after that, I'm going to the display as flex. So when we apply display as flex, then our site will become like this. So we have to change its flex direction. So for that, I want to assign its flex direction as column. So by default, flex direction is row. Then next, I'm going to align items at the center and justify contour at the center. So after this changes, our web page become like this. After that, I'm going to set a background color, and which will be set using our variable and I'm going to use the secondary color as background color here. Then I'm going to give a padding of 20 px to the body. So this is all about our body settings, and now our web page is looking like this. After that, I'm going to set the heading or title of this page. As for that, I'm going to select H1 tag, and color of this title is set by the variable primary color, and also after the title I need a distance between this input and the title. For that I am going to add a margin at the bottom. So for that I'm going to use margin bottom, and here I'm going to use variable spacing, which we are already set as 10 px. So now our page is looking like this. This is about the basic CSS settings, and in the next video we are going to discuss about how to handle the input part of our web page.